Today, we're going to be talking about 7 things that Rockstar Games will never do in the Grand Theft Auto series. And I would say almost all of these are backed up by things that the creators or the head of Rockstar Games have said regarding the series, which some of these are pretty interesting. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below as well. What do you think of some other things that Rockstar will never do in GTA? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so at the number 1 spot today, and this is in no particular order of like most important or least important, but the number 1 spot today is no characters crossing eras. So this topic comes up a lot when someone asks the question, why is Tommy Vercetti not in GTA 5? Why is CJ not in GTA 5 or Big Smoke or any of the famous characters from, GTA San Andreas? That's because Rockstar have a very specific rule when it comes to the eras of their universes. If a character appears in an era that's different from the one we're currently in, they're not allowed to be there. I know it's kind of confusing, but because Tommy Vercetti is a playable character in GTA Vice City, which is the 3D era, he is not allowed to appear in the HD era, which is GTA 4 and Grand Theft Auto 5. So that's why in GTA 5, you saw a lot of characters returning from Grand Theft Auto 4, but you didn't really see any from other games. So you saw Johnny Klebitz, you saw Malcolm from the Lost MC Motorcycle Group. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, wait a minute. There are characters from Vice City that actually returned in GTA 5. Some of you guys are probably going to mention the band member from Love Fist, and even though that is true, he was a member in Love Fist in Vice City, he never made an appearance. And thus, because he never made an appearance, he's allowed to show up in GTA 5. Now, there is one person that sort of breaks this mold, and that is Laszlo Jones. He has been sort of gifted God powers to transverse all the different GTA universes, but he is the only one that has that special ability. So for those of you guys that would love to see all the big name stars like Tommy Vercetti, Lance Vance, even though that wouldn't work, Big Smoke, even though that wouldn't work, CJ, and so many others to appear in GTA 5 in future games, it won't happen, and it will never happen because of the rules that Rockstar sort of placed on their characters in their universe so that they won't be able to go across the different worlds. The number 2 spot today, Grand Theft Auto taking place outside of the United States. So this is interesting for 2 reasons. The first one is that GTA has occurred outside of the US. Granted, this was in like the 2D era of GTA, and that was Grand Theft Auto London. But ever since then, Rockstar has always made the games take place in a fictional version of the United States. We've seen fictional New York City, fictional Miami, fictional Las Vegas, San Francisco, Los Angeles. We've seen all of these major U.S. cities, even some tinier ones like Fargo, which is what North Yankton is based off of. And Sam and Dan Houser, one of the founders and creators of Rockstar and the Grand Theft Auto series in general, have confirmed that this is intentional, that they view Grand Theft Auto as a parody of American culture. That's why all the games occur in the United States. So going forward, it would be weird if it took place out of the US because it really wouldn't stand up to what they believe, being a parody of American culture. Now, this is kind of odd for another reason, because one of the big leaks for Grand Theft Auto 6 is that it will take place in Miami and Vice City, but will be going to South America and Central America for various missions. Now, I could see this going outside of the US very briefly, but I still believe the main game is going to take place in America. Now, that's not to say places outside of America wouldn't be amazing locations. I mean, think of Tokyo, Rio de Janeiro. These are amazing places that I think Grand Theft Auto would thrive in, but it's not the vision that Rockstar wants. And that's why it's always going to take place in a US city. The number 3 spot, this one's also sort of controversial based off of leaks alone, but that is a female lead character. So Leslie Benzies, the former head of Rockstar Games, came out and specifically said the reason Grand Theft Auto is the way it is with male characters is because it's trying to appeal to the masculinity of not only its player base, but also the way the game works. Grand Theft Auto is obviously a very masculine game. The player base can definitely attest to that. Now, that's not to say that girls don't play GTA. They do. And it's not to say that girls don't enjoy GTA, because they definitely do as well. And it's also not to say that a female lead character wouldn't work, because I'm sure it would. But in Rockstar's eyes, it takes away from the masculinity of the game. And that's what they're going for in sort of a shoot 'em up car stealer style game. which at the end of the day, that's what GTA is. Now, another reason why this is interesting is because one of the big rumors and leaks is that in Grand Theft Auto 6, there's going to be a female lead character. Now, I don't know if Rockstar is going to be going back to the 3-character system or if they're going to go back to the 1-character system like we've seen in all the previous GTAs, but maybe this female lead character is not the main protagonist, but maybe a very important role. I mean, we've seen very important, predominant female figures throughout the GTA series. In fact, some of the best characters in Grand Theft Auto are female, but none has ever been a lead character. So that'll definitely be interesting to see. And I think it's one of those things that Rockstar is really never going to do. I think it's a big, big rumor at this point, and we're going to have to wait and see what they do with GTA 6. The number 4 spot today, that's using real-life brands. So a lot of people get on Rockstar especially when they add new cars into the game, like why it doesn't look a certain way. That's because Rockstar isn't allowed to add real-life cars to the game, and that's because they're not licensed. So if you guys have been keeping up with the news recently, you guys know that Rockstar have been running into some music licensing issues for GTA 4. Well, music licenses are really expensive, and car licenses like brands like Ford and McLaren and Ferrari and Lamborghini, they're expensive too. So if Rockstar wanted to use real-life brands in their game, it would cost an arm and a leg. Yes, they probably make enough money to afford it, but at the same rate, it also sort of makes GTA what it is. It's parody made-up brands that either make fun or replicate a lot of those real-life brands. So that's why you're never going to see a car like a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, an Aston Martin in a GTA game, because that's just not the way they want it. It's expensive, which is probably the biggest reason, but also number 2, it allows Rockstar to have a way more creativity in terms of the way they design their vehicles, the upgrades they give them, because they don't have to be specific to the lore of a brand like Lamborghini or something like that. They're allowed to do whatever they want because technically it's not that car, even though it might look very, very similar to it. At the number 5 spot today, celebrities in big roles. So this is something Rockstar used to do, especially back in the days of Vice City and even a little bit with GTA 4. But Vice City is the biggest example because Ray Liotta was actually the voice of Tommy Vercetti. He is a huge A-list actor. And that's not the case now. Like, raise your hand if you knew who Ned Luke was, or Sean Fontana, or Trevor Ogg before Grand Theft Auto 5. I didn't. And it's not to say they weren't good actors or good, motion capture artists. I had just never heard of them. They weren't big-time celebrities. Now, I mean, Stephen Ogg is in, shows like The Walking Dead and Westworld. Ned Luke and Sean Fontana have found success outside of GTA as well. But Rockstar used to use celebrities as big-time roles, and they're never going to do that going forward. They even said that it was a mistake, even though Ray Liotta was a great actor, to cast him as Tommy Vercetti, because some people will see him as Ray Liotta instead of Tommy Vercetti. If they cast someone who's more of a no-name, and I don't mean that to be offensive, just someone less known, you really fall in love with the character themselves and less of the celebrity. Same within GTA 4. Now, they used some characters as minor roles, like Ricky Gervais, how he was one of the comedians in the comedy club. And that, to a degree, I think is fine, as long as they don't use the main characters. And I think Rockstar is in agreement that they're probably never going to go back to having celebrities as main characters. The number 6 spot today, playing as the good guy or as cops. So this information doesn't officially come from Rockstar, but it actually comes from an insider who you guys might remember leaked a lot of information on online DLCs on the website 4chan. Now, one of the things he stated while players were asking about a police or a cop DLC is that Rockstar never wanted us to play as the good guys. That wouldn't work. It goes against what we do in online, and that is being petty criminals. So I think that trend is going to continue, which some people might really not like because it's one of the more popular role-playing, concepts, being the police. A lot of their vehicles are really cool. A lot of their outfits and weapons are awesome too. So I understand the frustration there, but I think this is a thing where you're almost playing the wrong game. The title of Grand Theft Auto is a felony. It's all about being a criminal. So playing as the good guy kind of doesn't make sense. And that Rockstar insider has made it very clear that is never going to be Rockstar's plan, to play as the good guy in Grand Theft Auto. Okay, and last but not least today, at the number 7 spot, that is going to the future. So we've seen Rockstar in all of their Grand Theft Auto games either play in present time or in the past. So GTA 5 is in the present, GTA 4 was in the present in 2008, we saw San Andreas take place in the 90s, Vice City in the 80s. and so on and so on. And some of the older games take place in the 60s and whatnot. But the one thing Rockstar will never do is go to the future. There's a lot of games that excel in going to the future, but that's not Rockstar. I mean, their game is all about being a parody of the United States, America. How can they be a parody if in 10 years they don't know what the case is going to be? I mean, pop culture and trends are literally changing every year. So it would be very difficult for Rockstar to predict what's going on, 10, 15 years from now. So that's something you'll almost never see is them going to the future. It's either going to be in the past or it's going to be in modern times. Anyways, that right there is 7 things that Rockstar is never going to do in the Grand Theft Auto series. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What are some things that you think Rockstar just won't ever do in Grand Theft Auto, whether it's right now or in the future? I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.